Let's dig deeper into the impact of SNAP food assistance running out, a program that helps to feed some 42 million Americans. Joining us live now is Kyle Wade, the president and CEO of the Atlanta Community Food Bank. Kyle, thank you so much for being with us. With SNAP benefits or food stamps effectively expected to run out November 1st because we're being told the well has run dry because of this government shutdown. Just talk to us first and foremost about the kind of surge in demand you're expecting, given that there are 42 million Americans across the country who rely on this program.
Well, it's great to be here, and I think the starting point for answering your question is just to acknowledge that lines are already very long at food pantries all across the country. At my food bank, we've seen the demand for food assistance increased by about 70% over the last 3.5 years due to inflation. There's just a lot more economic pressure on families across our community. And as you noted, there are just a really large number of people, 42 million people across the country, 1.5 million people here in the state of Georgia, that rely on the SNAP program to connect them with the nutrition that they need. In Georgia alone, they receive about $250 million a month in those SNAP benefits. Last year, our food bank distributed across the entire year $280 million worth of groceries. And so, in effect, 1 month's worth of activity is equal to what we do in an entire year. It would be impossible for us to make up the full difference of what is being disrupted. And we know it's just going to add to the lines that are already very long at the food pantries that are serving our communities today.
So the lines are already long, as you point out. You said there's been a 70% increase in the number of people relying on your food bank because of inflation. And then on top of that, you've got this potential interruption to the SNAP program happening on November 1st. So just explain to us what you are doing at the food bank to sort of support people who might need extra help because of the disruption to SNAP access. And what I mean by that is, increased distribution, longer hours, hiring more volunteers. Just walk us through that side of things.
Sure. So it's kind of all of the above in the way that we're approaching this current crisis. Certainly, it starts with just making sure we are in dialogue with our elected leaders, both here at the state level and up in DC, to help them understand what we are seeing and experiencing and expecting in terms of demand in our community. And hopefully that will help them as they go through the process of trying to resolve this situation. We are working with a variety of different local partners to schedule some targeted distribution activity to get more food and groceries close to where there are concentrations of federal employees who, as your team noted, are also really impacted by this shutdown. Folks who are not going to get paid this week for the first time. We're trying to get food to those folks. And then we're working with our suppliers to both get more donated food and to purchase more food that we can then route through the community as we get deeper into this shutdown. This time of year is our highest volume period of the year for food distribution already. And so our inventory is under significant strain as it is. We're going to have to work very hard to go get more food to support that demand. For my food bank locally, we're hoping to increase our distribution capacity by as much as 30% to support increased demand. But again, if all of those SNAP recipients turn to us for help, who normally get help from the SNAP program, there's no way we can meet that full increase.
And you talked about relying on your suppliers, obviously donors, obviously there's community assistance. Out of what you just listed, when it comes to sort of making up the shortfall in funding, what are some of the resources that would actually make the biggest difference right now as the SNAP program prepares to run out?
Well, I mean, let's not forget to make the main thing the main thing. We just need the government to be open and for the SNAP program to be not disrupted. We do know that the government does have some flexibility to fund the program through some other means temporarily, and we would encourage them to explore ways to do that. Absent that, food banks across the country are going to need more help right now. They're going to need your financial support so that we can get more food into the system and get that food close to where people are. And we're going to need volunteers. We're going to need volunteers at our main facilities. We're going to need volunteers out in those pantry locations so that we can serve a longer line of people who need our help right now.
All right. Carl Wade of the Atlanta Community Food Bank, thank you so much.